Hey guys, Lady Liberty Stacker. It is Wednesday, February the 10th, 2021, and I'm back for another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about my cast iron that I actually sell, the stuff that's actually sold in my store. I know a lot of you guys watch my videos. You see me restore it, season it, clean it, cook in it, make mistakes in it, buy cracked pieces, identifying old vintage cast iron, and just anything to do with cast iron. I occasionally will do another video about another subject area, but my niche right now is cast iron. And a lot of you have inquired as to how you can find a link to my store. Unfortunately, right now, I don't have a lot of pieces. I think I have 5 left. I sell quite a few. I sell lots at Christmas time. Of course, this year was weird because the shipping was delayed at USPS. So I put my store on hold until after Christmas. So my sales were slower this Christmas time and holiday season than it normally is because of the situation with USPS. But that being said, I just kind of wanted to show you guys what I actually do in the way of sales. I sell anything from 15, 16 bucks all the way up to over 300. It depends on what the skillet is, how old and rare it is, collectible, or just a good user and what kind of condition it's in. It's just amazing at what this stuff can go for. And some of the cast iron is pretty cheap if you're looking for a good user. It's just you're going to pay for the shipping depending on where you are because cast iron is heavy. Anyway, what you're looking at here is outside of my 90-day window. But I wanted to bring this one up because this is a Wagner Ware Sydney O chef skillet. These are hard to find. This is a 9-inch. The model number is 1386A. I think there's one larger than this, and it might be a 10-inch or 11-inch, and they go for even more money. This, I paid, I think, about $40 at a local antique mall for it. And this one was just perfect. It sat fairly flat. It didn't have any pitting, no cracks, no nothing. And I put it up for $149.99 or best offer, and it sold almost immediately for my asking price. The reason why I'm showing you this one is I sold another one very similar to it, but it wasn't actually marked like this one. And it can make all the difference in the world to a collector. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and try to find, we're going to just go ahead and find the first one here. And I'm going to go through the whole screen of what sold and, why it sold for what it did. And we'll go from there. All right, this one here is, you might have seen it from a cast iron haul from last Labor Day or around Labor Day. No, it was actually the summertime. I don't remember. This one took a little longer to sell. It was an antique double griddle with a double gate mark on the back. You can kind of see it down here in the photo down here. But the griddles hang around a little while. The Dutch ovens sometimes hang around a little while. They don't sell right away. This one finally sold. This person was a repeat buyer from last holiday in 2019. He bought this one, and he bought a 6 Griswold with the hinged assist handle for a lid. I'll get to that one a little bit later, but this was sold December 2nd for $79.99. He made an offer. I think I took like $65 for it, plus shipping. It'd been around a while, so I did take an offer. A lot of my stuff sells at full asking price, but if it's hanging around a while, somebody makes me a reasonable offer, heck, why not? But this one sold for about $65 plus shipping. And this one was a nice old piece that was completely restored. Next up, I just sold this one today. I don't know how these things are arranged, but I have a little file folder here of all the ones I've sold in the last 3 months. This is a Birmingham stove and range number 10. I just had this on a haul. I actually showed you guys how to buy online. This was an online auction. This was a newer BS&R. You can see Made in USA up here. Down here it says a number 10, and it says a 12-inch or 12 1/4 inch. I can't really see it from here. Actually, we'll try to zoom in on it a little bit. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Oh, here we go. See if I can zoom in on it a little bit and you can see. You can see it there. I think it says 12 1/4 inch. So we'll go ahead and zoom back out. But this just sold today for my full asking price. This is a Century Series skillet. They're not quite as collectible as a Red Mountain series, which were made back in the 30s to the 50s. This was made between the 60s and the 70s, but I completely restored it. It's set flat. Just a big, nice skillet, a good user. And, I'll be shipping it out tomorrow. But this one is going to go to New York. And the shipping, they paid about $14.80 for shipping there. It depends on where you are in the country. But this one turned out fantastic, and I used Easy Beasy seasoning stick, and it's actually making these guys look a little darker. Now, in the summertime, I'll oftentimes take pictures outside to get the actual daylight, but this time of the year, it's impossible. So I have a picnic table style background drop that I use for my cast iron. So that one just sold today, and so that was a nice sale. I think I paid $8 for that, and then I restored it, and that was nice. The other one that I have spins a little bit, but it's in really good condition. It's a number 7. It's still listed. Next up is a fake number 0 toy Griswold skillet, a salesman demo, whatever you want to call it. I thought it was real when I bought it, but you can see here it's sloppy casting. Someone told me they did have value anywhere from $20 to $40. I priced mine at $39.99 or best offer, and I think I had dropped the price a little bit, so it ended up selling for $34.99 plus shipping. And this went out at Christmas time. They bought it on December 16th. And this is a cute little skillet. It would just sit in my hand. Just a cute little thing. But the fakes do have a value, just not as much as the real thing. The real skillet will have all even casting. It won't be sloppy. It'll be just clear cut, uniform in size. And I have a video on that. You want to go and see, all about fakes. Next up is the same guy that bought the double griddle, bought this one. It's a number 6 Griswold small blocked logo. You can see here. It is a 2506, and they didn't make as many of these, but it has an assist handle and that little slot there for a lid. If you can find a lid, they're more valuable than this skillet. And one person told me in my comment section that the lid for this one was going to run them $500-600. The nice thing about the lid is you can set it in this little opening here, and it will actually prop itself up while you're cooking. I think that's really cool, but I'm not going to pay $600 for that. Like to find one, though. Okay, next up is a number 5 large block logo Griswold. And believe it or not, the number 5 sell for more than number 8s. And not actually number 6s and 7s, 5s rival in the price. This one was a perfect skillet. It sat flat, no pitting, no cracks. Just a beautiful skillet. I got it on Facebook Marketplace. Drove a few towns north of me to get it. Just one skillet that the guy had. He had a decent price on it, so I restored it, and it sold probably within a day or two of my listing it. It was pretty fast. Real quick, one of my loyal subscribers wanted it, and I told him about it, but somebody else must have had an alert set for this particular skillet, and he just snatched it up because I thought that my viewer had purchased it. But I put it up for $149.99 or best offer. I was willing to go down in the price, but this guy snatched it up quickly, and it sold for $149.99 plus shipping. And every one of my customers on these types of skillets will get cast iron care, instructions, and maintenance. So that also went out with this skillet. So that one, those go for crazy good money. Next up is a Griswold large slant logo, number 10. You can't see the logo very well, but it's typical with this particular mold. But I paid a friend for it. Friend actually found it for me, and I bought it from him. And I basically restored it, and I paid $50, and it sold for, I think, I took an offer of $300 maybe. It might have sold for $300. It was between $300 and $324. It might have sold for full price. I'd have to go back and look, but I know it was one of my pricier ones. Beautiful skillet, set flat, no issues at all. And this was around Christmas time. and just a gorgeous skillet. And I've got one myself in my collection that I'm not selling. That's why it was so easy to let this one go. Next up is a Griswold lamb mold. This one is about 10-11 inches across, and it's got certain numbers to it. It's 866, 921, 922. I found this on Facebook Marketplace. Person was just downsizing, and I picked it up for about 40 bucks. Found this on eBay to pair with it, and it came with some history of Griswold. And I might have been able to get a little bit more at Easter, but this, believe it or not, sold for my full asking price of $135.95 plus shipping. And the person that received it really, really liked it and happy about that. Sold at the end of January. It's a cake mold, lamb cake mold, and most popular around Easter. Next up, just sold today, February the 10th, a little Lodge skillet. I paid $5. I made a killing on this one, guys. Woo-woo! Not really. I purchased some old vintage cast iron, and they said, oh, do you want to buy these? They're $5 each. And I thought, well, okay. I normally don't like to sell the modern Lodge. But anyway, I went ahead and bought the Lodge skillets off of them. And this sold for $16 plus shipping. So I'll get my money back and then a little profit from it. Again, I'll sell most anything across the board, but when time is limited, I tend to focus on the higher valued stuff because sometimes it takes as much time to do those as the little ones. Now this one I didn't have to do anything to. It was brand new with the sticky tag on there still that Lodge likes to have. So that was a nice little profit. This one here is an unmarked antique Wagner number 9. It sold the end of November. And the guy was a repeat customer, and he came back this year, bought this one, and he also bought a smaller Wagner to go with it. So I kind of grouped them together and made a special deal for him. He ended up paying, I think he paid $115 for this. I took an offer, and then he bought the Wagner, the small Wagner at the same time. This one turned out just fantastic. I bought this. Actually, I got this from the friend that sold me the Griswold number 10. And it was so rusted, he just said, you can have it for free. So I didn't pay anything for this one. It turned out gorgeous. You just don't know. It could be cracked. It could be pitted. You don't know till you get into it. So that one was a really nice, really nice sale on that one. This one, same guy, Wagner ware. I think he ended up paying 20 or 23, somewhere in there. And the shipping was less for him because we put everything in one box. I usually don't do that. It's complicated because I list everything to go in a certain size box depending upon what skillet it is, and my shipping just works out just fine that way as far as how I pack them and safety and shipping and all that kind of stuff. Next up is a number 9 restored unmarked Lodge pancake griddle, and this one here turned out great. It had some sort of discoloration on the back, but it didn't seem to matter, but sold for $62.95 plus shipping. And I ended up getting this one for like $10 at a local antique mall at the end of the summer. Next up is a smooth bottom Vollrath. You can always tell a Vollrath, the number's on the side with the line underneath the number. Most Vollraths have an external heat ring. This one was smooth bottom. So they're a little bit more, they're not as commonplace. I wouldn't call them rare, but they're not commonplace. And this one sold for $37.99 plus shipping. And again, that was an easy skillet to restore. It was in great shape. I love those. Next up is an unmarked Wagner number 5 for $39.99 plus $12.20 shipping. Nothing unusual about this, but again, the number 5s are less common than the 3s or the 8s. Not sure why that is, but I just don't find them as often. Now, this one I told you about in the beginning, so remember this one. I'm going to get to another one like it later on in the video. This one was an older style Wagner from the 20s, 1920s, a Wagner Sydney O. It has an external heat ring, model 1062A. There's a more modern model with Wagner ware Sydney O up here, and it has no heat ring. and it's also 1062 model number. They don't sell for nearly as much. This one sold for $350 plus shipping. This was a beautiful skillet. It really no flaws whatsoever. It had a little bit of movement, but I quantified my movement so people know exactly what they're getting with that. But that's the one my husband found over Labor Day weekend, and the guy had 130 on it, and I offered him 80, and he took it. I was flabbergasted. I was thrilled. I still made a decent money on it, and it was fun to restore. So that's the most expensive cast iron I've ever sold. Hopefully it won't be the last. Hopefully I'll find some more neat ones as we go along, but this one was really cool. Next up, I think we've seen this one already. This one I just showed you in a recent haul. This is a breakfast bacon and egg skillet from Wagner Ware, model 1101D. This one has nice little compartments here. You can see a fried egg, and maybe bacon. These are not too common. I was expecting, I really was hoping to get $79.99 for it. I put it up for $89.99, and somebody snatched it up within a day or two of me listing it. But I would have taken as low as $79 for it based on comps. But I always start higher. It leaves me room to negotiate if somebody wants to negotiate with me on that. So that went out. Sold at the end of January, and it went out. Can't even remember where it went to, but yeah, that was a nice sale on that one. Now here is the other chef skillet. This is a non-marked one. It is a Wagner. You can see the handle. It's got an X on there. It's got an X here. Made in the USA, so it was made after the other one, and it sold for $71.24 plus shipping. So it's sold for less than half of the other one. So markings and the time that they were made have a lot to do with it. Of course, this one was very clean. It didn't have much movement, no pitting, no rust. You know, it was fine, but it was more of a functional chef skillet for somebody than more of a collectible one. Sold that in December, and it took a month to deliver. I didn't think the guy was going to get it, and I was really worried that I was going to have to pay out on this one. Didn't really have insurance beyond what the USPS provides. So at any rate, I think that does it. That's most of my pieces here that I have. So, you know, the video has gone long enough, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys just an example of everything that I sell. I sell, you know, cheap to really pricey, but I always price it at what the market will bear. So I don't price everything real high, but I tend to get more on the high end of the stuff because of my processes and the way my cast iron pieces turn out. And if there's a flaw, I do tell you what the flaw is, and sometimes those will sit for a while. But I will disclose the flaws, and that's just the way it rolls. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments section. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Give me a thumb up. It really helps videos like this. Thanks, and go make it a great day.